Everybody, welcome to Z Reviews, and today's review is The Place Beyond the Pines, a story about a stunt driver motorcyclist who starts robbing banks to provide for his lover and his newborn child. This sets him on a collision course with a young, ambitious cop trying to move up in the world. So, and it's kind of has a lot of critical, huge, heavy acclaim from a huge number of critics who said it was just a great, great movie. So, I really didn't like this one, actually. I was really disappointed. Okay, but let's talk about it. The majority of the praise has gone to the actors and their portrayals in this film. And you got Ryan Gosling playing the motorcyclist, Bradley Cooper as the cop, the young one, and Eva Mendes as Ryan Gosling's lover. And all three of them put in good performances. Nothing really stand out like jaw-droppingly good, but they're not bad performances. All three of them are good actors, so I think they all do a good job. You have a really big supporting cast who, they're fine. There's a couple that I really did not enjoy. There's no real standouts in the supporting cast either. So even though the acting has a lot of praise, personally I didn't see that much praiseworthiness. Okay. The plot. This is very, very plot heavy. I mean, very plot and character heavy. And, it's a great idea for a plot. I think in the right hands, this could have been a great sort of film. One that really gives you some harsh moral questions to answer. But, I'm sorry, I think this was a horrible execution for the film. Basically, the film is separated into 3 separate stories. And it's like different viewpoints, and they're in consecutive order. And they're different viewpoints of what happens after the other story ends. Now, the first story is Ryan Gosling's story as the motorcyclist. I'd say his is the strongest story. His is the one that seems the most complete. He has like a beginning, a middle, an end. Like, good questions, good ideas, good moments, great acting. Overall, I'd say that's the strongest part. The second part of the story is basically Bradley Cooper's part. And this part, I did not enjoy as much as the Ryan Gosling part. I barely enjoyed this part, actually. I think it starts off really good. It starts off like a great segue from the Ryan Gosling story. But the second half of the Bradley Cooper story completely falls apart and just doesn't know where it wants to go. It told its story, and now it's just fumbling with what to do next. So I thought it was a very bad execution. The third story, I can't tell you about, because it involves events from the first and second story. I will say the third story is severely disappointing. A great idea. The third story is a great, great idea. With the right execution, could have been like, made this movie a masterpiece. But, it kind of falters in too many areas. It's like, the acting takes a noticeable decline since it's like, it really does seem to go down in quality. Strangely enough, the direction seems to get better here, with more cinematography that's very good aesthetics and stuff like that. But the acting goes down, the story quality really goes down, and this is a very, very story, drama heavy film. So if your story quality goes down, like a drastic drop like this, it's very noticeable. So, personally, the characters are so hateable. I really hated all of them. Like the other characters in the first 2 parts. Ryan Gosling, he's a pretty good character. Eva Mendes, kinda simple. Bradley Cooper, I don't like. His character wasn't too interesting to me. But the third part is just take those characters and then makes them all sort of not fun to watch, not very heavy. Just sort of makes them all bad, and I did not like it. None of the parts were able to like really function. The one that got closest was the Ryan Gosling part. Personally though, that part should have been its own movie. In fact, all three of these should have been a movie. I think it would have been awesome if you have like small film trilogy, you know, 1 part, 2 part, 3 part. Would have been great. I would have liked it a lot more, because the Ryan Gosling one, it deserves more time because it really can hit really well. The Bradley Cooper one, with more time, I think they could have salvaged it instead of just throwing plot twists and like subplots that were not effective. Third storyline, I think if they went a different direction with it, it could have been really good as well. So I think none of them were able to function by themselves, but if they were their own movies and had a lot more time to expand it, I think it could have worked. Because basically you just wasted 3 movies on 1 mediocre one. So, kinda kills it for me. What else? Also, the tone of this movie, it's very boring. And I just mean that in the way that it's sort of like, it gets dull, especially around parts 2nd and 3rd story, which are just dragging on and on with either a subplot no one cares about, or a main plot no one cares about. So it just gets going on, and it's boring. I literally fallen asleep twice watching this movie. So it's very not able to hold itself up. It's not able to like really capture your attention that well. I'm sorry, I think this movie's like a little too ambitious, and trust me, I love it when filmmakers become really ambitious and try to do as much as possible, and try to do as many things as unique and as cool as possible. But it did not work here for me, because they were ambitious, but in their ambition, they lost what made the original stories great. So I did not like that. But there's not a lot of standout scenes. There's not too much really heavy or really good in this. Like I said, first part, good. First 45 minutes, after that, the movie just tumbles down and down. But the movie's not all bad. Don't get me wrong. On the technical side of things, this movie is brilliant. The cinematography and the aesthetics and all that stuff, flawless. I was like literally watching this like, these are some powerful shots. I just wish what was in the shots had more substance to it. Because the style and the aesthetic shots, they're priceless. They're really great. And the score, the background music, the score, it's this haunting sort of thing that stays with you a lot longer than I think the actual movie does. So it has a great atmosphere, and it's just be able to, the shots and the score and other directions needed makes such a great atmosphere. So you have such a great atmosphere for a movie, but the story and the characters and all that stuff inside the movie falters, in my opinion. So, I think, I'm sorry, it fails everywhere else instead of the technical aspects. So, I'm gonna give this movie a 4 out of 10, which is a bad movie on my grading scale. Sorry, I just really did not like it. I do think some people would like it, because personally this is my opinion. I do think a lot of other people would like it, but it just was not a good movie for me. I did not like a lot of it. But anyway, leave likes, comments, subscribe, and tell me what movie you want me to review next, and have a nice day.